Hello everybody, my name is Maher and I am proud to announce that Illumination themselves have sent me an early review copy of the Super Mario Bros. Movie 5 days before it's set to come out. I've never been recognized by a big company before. Well, I better make a good first impression. So, let's take the DVD out of the box, and this is the Super Mario Bros. Movie. For those who don't know, Super Mario Bros., also known as Super Mario Bros. The movie, is a 1993 live-action adaptation of the video game series Mario, which as we all know was created by Nintendo. This movie is infamous for being considered the worst video game adaptation of all time. To some people, the worst film of all time. But is that true? Now, I know this movie is considered a mess. For God's sakes, even the development of this movie is a train wreck, with everyone who worked on it being miserable throughout the entire project, and most of the actors who worked on the movie calling it the worst thing they were ever a part of. But I'm wondering, if isolated from all the negative press about the movie, all the criticisms, all the flawed reviews, all the bad stuff that happened on the production, when looked at it as a finished product of a movie, is it really that bad? Well, there's only one way to be sure. So the plot is not relatively pretty simple. This is a complex movie. So you see, the meteor that killed the dinosaurs actually didn't kill the dinosaurs. Instead, it created a parallel universe, where the surviving dinosaurs evolved to become humanoids. Yep, that's the plot we're going in. Fast forward to the present day, and Mario and Luigi are plumbers in Brooklyn. Luigi meets a girl named Daisy who is kidnapped and taken to an alternate universe via a portal. So Mario and Luigi go through the portal into the town called Dino Hatton. Really? Dino Hatton? Dino Hatton is ruled by King Koopa, who kidnapped Daisy for her necklace, which has a rock fragment on it. When the rock fragments are all brought into one to reform the original meteor, it will merge both dimensions into one, which Koopa wants, since he wants to be able to rule both dimensions at the same time. Mostly because in his dimension, the only town there really is Dino Hatton. Everything beyond that is just sand. After some shenanigans, they manage to rescue Daisy, who while captured learn that she's actually the daughter of the original king of Dino Hatton, who Koopa overthrew many years ago and turned into whatever this thing is. Here's a fun fact, this is what they interpreted the Mushroom Kingdom to be, or just the mushroom theme in Mario games. Because yes, when I think of the Super Mushroom, I think of this goop. Ending up, Koopa wins and they manage to merge the worlds. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs! Okay, that was bad. For a brief period of time, I can't believe I made that joke. However, this is a short victory, because Daisy and Luigi on the other side managed to move the fragment out of the rock, causing the worlds to unmerge. Because yes, that is how it works, it's only logic. Mario is able to kill Koopa by using a gun that can devolve or evolve mammals. Yeah, I sort of brushed apart this side of the movie. Basically, all you need to know is that it was part of Koopa's plan. Once he merges the dimensions, he wanted to de-evolve humans to make it easier for him to rule the world. And he already had a gun that can evolve or devolve any animal, turning them into their primal form or making them super intelligent. This is also where that "a monkey" meme came from. Mario and Luigi decide to return home after all this ends, but Daisy decides to stay in Dino Hatton to become the queen. Fast forward 3 weeks later, and Daisy asks Mario and Luigi to come back to help her with a new threat, with the movie ending on a cliffhanger never to be answered since this movie was hated by everyone. And that was Super Mario Bros. The movie. Wow, that was something. First things first, the effects are good. Okay, no joke, dropping the act for a second. The digital effects are honestly really good and are probably where the budget went. And honestly, they paid off. Like, some of these effects look really good for 1993. And what makes it more impressive is the fact that this is the first movie to use digital effects. Before then, most of the other effects in movies were practical, or maybe like use tiny amounts of digital. But this movie is the first one to go all out on the digital effects. And honestly, it looks good. I'm not joking. They look good. I mean, yeah, some of the costumes, like the Goombas or the Koopas, King Koopa to be specific, look at his final form when he's devolved. Like, yeah, that looks uncanny, but objectively, they are high quality. And they are interesting to look at, I'll give them that. Another pro is the performances. For being drunk on set most of the time, Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo do great jobs playing Mario and Luigi. They are better than the celebrities they got for the upcoming Mario movie at the very least. Oops, did I just say that out loud? I don't know, they just have a really good relationship on screen. My only real issue is how there is a clear age gap between Bob and John. One looks like a 50-year-old going through his 5th divorce this week, while the other looks fresh out of a high school movie. But I mean, that still doesn't ruin the sibling bond for me. Even if it's implied that Mario's Luigi's dad sometimes, I still buy the fact that they're siblings. Like, for example, the scene where Mario convinces Luigi to ask Daisy out on a date, and then the little character interaction after when she leaves. That is just pure sibling bonding. I like it so much. And in fact, most of the casting was good. I think all the characters, whenever it's Dennis Hopper, Bob Hoskins, etc., I think they do really good for the script that they were given. And I feel like if the script was written better, they would have had a better role. Like, if they would have played it a lot better than how they did in the movie. It's just the fact that the script was so bad that they're at a crutch. I also like the world building. For having an extremely dumb name, I do like the city of Dino-Hatton, and I am interested in the whole two-world stuff they give us. I'm just very interested in the stuff they introduce, like the gun that can evolve or devolve you, or how the dinosaur humanoids wear these spiky clothing to evoke their dinosaur roots. I like it a lot. And I also like the music, strangely enough. It for some reason reminds me of the music that was used in the live-action 1994 Flintstones movie, or maybe that's just what music sounded like back in the 90s. And if it is, can we bring that back, please? I don't know, it's just really nice to listen to. And to be honest, the movie's just really charming. Stuff like Yoshi in the movie, who despite looking realistic is still really adorable and cute, or Luigi and Daisy's relationship. It's so awkward that it becomes adorable. It's puppy love and I love it. This movie's just really fun to watch, and if you just let it take you wherever it wants to take you, it can be really enjoyable. Like a drug trip. I feel like if you want this movie with really low expectations and won't get pissed off by how inaccurate it is to Mario lore, then you can enjoy it as a standalone movie. Definitely not as a Mario movie though, which you could argue is a bad thing, which I'll explain right now in the cons. First things first, my biggest con with this movie, it isn't a Mario movie. Replace the names of all the characters and some of the Mario stuff they had as Easter eggs, and it's a completely standalone product, which is a big con if you're making a movie based on a beloved IP. It's one thing to take the source material and create something new out of it with these characters, a la the first Sonic movie, but it's another thing to drastically change everything to the point where if you sit someone down to watch this and you never told them a single thing that this was Mario, they would have never known. And as much as I think this movie can be charming, I have to agree that when looked as a Mario movie, it does fall flat. It requires you to disconnect everything you know about Mario in order to properly enjoy it. Which, yeah, is kinda bad. Another con can be the forced references. They don't do them often, but when they do, I don't feel like they really land. I'm not really a fan when movies force in references to their beloved IPs for the sole purpose of people going, oh, did you see that in 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 16 seconds into this movie, you can see Shrek's nail in a millisecond of the frame? Subscribe now and hit the notification bell to find 20 references that you missed when you casually watched the movie like an imbecile. It just seems to be substituting real jokes for references. Now, I'm not opposed to references in movies, but only when they're incorporated organically or serve a reason. Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers has their movie take place in a world populated by cartoon characters, so it makes sense to see old tunes in the background. It serves a purpose. Or the second Sonic movie has their references usually make sense in the movie and help move the plot along, but here, yeah, they come off as forced. This can be anything, from naming random characters after Mario characters like, yes, that is Big Bertha, how did you not know? I knew. To how King Koopa just kept repeating the name Goomba so you can know that these monstrosities are Goombas. And the little Mario stuff like the Bob-ombs and Bills, like, yeah, they aren't offensive or anything, I'm not gonna lose my sleep over them being in the movie. But I don't know, they just felt really unnecessary and like a last minute addition. Like the creators were watching the movie and being like, oh god, oh man, we made a movie about Mario without making anything Mario related on what do we do to make people know that this is a Mario movie? Okay, I got it. So you see, these are bullet bills. Another con is the plot. Now, while I like the world building, the problem with me is how I kinda had to piece together the plot myself. Like, I had to really think to make sense of the plot, considering how scattershot it is in the movie. This movie plot really is a mess, an enjoyable mess, but a mess no less. Some scenes feel like they're there only to drag out the plot, like Mario and Luigi just walking around in the desert and just prancing around not really doing anything. It can feel unconnected at times. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Overall, Super Mario Bros. Is an enjoyable, albeit flawed movie. I feel like its reputation as the worst video game movie ever made is not justified. I mean, how could it be when Postal exists? And I mean, if you go into this movie without critical thinking and go to watch it purely for enjoyment, I feel like you would 100% get that. And I will always respect this movie for at least trying something new instead of being a straight adaptation, even if it does lead into that new side a bit too much in my opinion. It may not be a good Mario movie, but it is an enjoyable movie. This movie has what I will coin the cat in the hat syndrome, a movie based on a property that misses its mark so much that it becomes enjoyable regardless, even if the reasons why it's enjoyable are all the wrong reasons. I would recommend anyone watch it at least once, since not watching it would be a great disservice on yourself. Now, I may have been tricked once, but don't you worry, I got a backup plan. You see, Sony gave me a review copy for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse early, so let's open it up and for crying out loud!